diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Tyshaun James, who is a wide receiver out of Central Connecticut State. How you doing, man?
How you doing? Thank you for
Good.
having me.
Yeah. Can you just describe to our viewers a little bit about your overall career?
So I'm from Middletown, Connecticut. I played football at Middletown High School. I started off as a quarterback there. Played quarterback there for 2 years. Then I got to Central. Played quarterback for about a little bit into camp, and then switched to wide receiver. Start off like a slow start for me at receiver, just getting used to catching the passes, judging the ball, running routes and stuff like that. This past year, I recently got all conference, first team all conference. I got player of the week 2 times, primetime former a couple times, and now I'm just looking forward to my senior year and trying to get the All-American.
Awesome. And tell me, Tyshaun, what is the best part about your game?
I feel like my versatility, I feel like I could do a lot with running, catching, throwing. I feel like a lot of guys are just one-dimensional where I feel like I could catch the short ball, I could catch the long pass, I could run all types of routes, I could play from outside, I could play slot, I can block. So I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of the wide receiver position now, and I'm getting my game to be as complete as it can be.
Great. Tyshaun, I have you listed, 6'2", 6'3", about 215, almost up into 220 pounds. That about right?
Yes.
Okay. What's your playing weight, more or less?
Playing weight is around like 210,
Okay.
250.
Great size as receiver. I've seen you play really a little bit of everything, inside, outside. You do occasionally play that wildcat quarterback, so they do put you back there, just kind of mixing it up, either just, running it yourself or handing it off to the running back. Like you said, obviously, you bring a lot of versatility to a team. So everybody's dealing with this same situation with the quarantine. The COVID-19 has really hit everybody a little different. Can you just explain a little bit about, since we've been in the off season, what have you been doing? What have you been working on to better yourself as a player?
So for the off season, my strength and conditioning coach, he sent me like a packet. He sent all the players a packet. So in my basement, I'm lucky enough to have like a squat rack, a bench rack, some dumbbells and stuff like that. So Mondays for me is basically legs, front squat, stuff like that, lunges, all that stuff. Tuesdays is incline. Wednesdays I have off. Thursdays, back squat. And Fridays is bench press. And then Saturdays I go to my trainer and work on like speed and agility, stuff like that. And then during the week, I'll get in some running. I'll run like hills with my friends, do some hiking, some jogging. And then I'll just go to the field with one of my quarterbacks, run some routes, work on like certain situations, like on how far I had to get and stuff like that. And just trying to get used to, hopefully, if we have the season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're all praying for football in the fall. So just taking it day by day, I guess. Just at the very least, you're preparing, which is great. Tyshaun, there have been a lot of people that have helped mold you into the player and man that you are today. Talk about maybe some of the coaches that have influenced you over the years. Has there been a particular lesson from one of those coaches that has just stuck with you since for a while?
Yeah. Well, my 7th to 8th grade basketball coach, Mr. Gary, John Gary, he was always like about just being a good man when no one's watching and stuff like that, having good leadership, being respectful to others and stuff like that. And he always said to me, character is what you do when someone is not looking, not when someone is looking. So that at first I didn't get that when I was younger, but now it's like always stuck in my head. It's just like, what am I doing when someone's not really looking? But there's always someone watching. You never know. So just always trying to be a good man and good leader in that aspect of life. And it just always stuck with me because I'm not only a representation of myself, I'm a representation of my friends, my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, Central football. So I feel like if I mess up in any instance, I'm letting all them down.
Good. Well, I mean, obviously, being a man of good character is important. Going into just in general, obviously, and of course, when you do eventually get to the pros. Again, just along the same lines, there are a lot of good players there at Central Connecticut. Has there been anybody there that had impressed you with their game?
My quarterback here in Winchester, just the way he goes about the game, he's a great leader on and off the field. He prepares well. My DB, Tajik Bagley, he's a tremendous competitor. I mean, I say him because when I was switching from quarterback to receiver, he was a guy that I had to get right to go against because if I wasn't catching any passes. At first, it was a lot of times I wasn't catching passes on him. Javon Brown, the offensive lineman, trench work. He just mauls dudes down there. He just goes about his game the right way. My freshman year, I had two linebackers, Randall Laguerre and Kenny Keene. They were like great mentors to me. Wide receiver Jose Garcia. It was a lot of guys, especially for my freshman year. That team, a lot of those guys installed a lot of stuff in me. To honestly, when we won the championship my junior year, I was telling some of those guys some of that was because of them, because just how they showed me how to approach the game and how to be a champion. Because I never won a championship in football until I got to college.
Great. I mean, obviously, you guys did have a great year last year. Completely, went undefeated in your conference.
Yeah.
Obviously, seems like there's a lot of guys there. Lots of good talent on your team. Couple more questions before we wrap up. Tell me why you play football.
Play the game of football because I love it. Honestly, it's not like I said. I'm not really like one of the richest guys. I don't come from like a wealthy family, but I come from a family that's like with love and hard work, and I feel that's been installed in me ever since I was younger. And I feel like me putting in the work for football is definitely gonna open a lot of doors for me. I just love football. I watch it on YouTube all the time. I follow the channel, the pages, Sideline Hustle and Receiver School and stuff like that. So I'm always, whether I'm in the house walking around, I'll walk and there'll be a cheer, and I'll stair step. It's just little stuff like that. It's just like football is always on my mind, and I feel like it could definitely help lead to things bigger than me.
Great. And give me your final pitch to a professional team. Why should they draft you or sign you, bring you in? What do you bring as a teammate?
I feel like I could bring in a good leadership role for guys that are coming like rookies like me. I don't have the off the field issues, so you wouldn't have to worry about if I'm out getting arrested or doing crazy stuff. But that's just not me. I'm a brand. I'm gonna be a brand for myself, my family, and that team. I feel like I'm very versatile of what I bring to the game, and I'm a competitor. I don't like to lose, and I don't back down from anyone. It doesn't matter if it's the best corner, the highest paid corner in the league, or if it's the lowest paid corner in the league. The game is very competitive, and I love to compete.
Awesome. Tyshaun, this has been great, just sitting with you, chit-chatting about football and life. And, if people don't already know you, I believe that you are one of the best wide receivers at the small school level. I'm sitting here thinking about like maybe who I compared you to, and I had compared you to Laviska Shenault, who ended up getting drafted this past year. The only difference between you and him really, Pac-12. Be honest with you, I feel like you have tons of potential at the next level. Very big, physical, has a speed. really a lot going for you. People really need to know your name. So everybody check out this guy, Tyshaun James, wide receiver, Central Connecticut State. Check him out on Twitter. He's going to have a great year this season. Don't miss out. Thank you, Tyshaun.
Thank you for having me.